Hello there, you're watching our television. This is State of Business. I am Pamada Katakampala. Our top stories. Global consultant urges policymakers to reorient their approach to tourism. Forex-starved government launches pension scheme for migrant workers. Welcome back. Now let's have a detailed look at today's stories. Now, Omar Saqib Khan, founder of EPO Global and Sensei Lanka, yesterday discussed ways in which tourism can be promoted in a meaningful manner. He did so while speaking at an event organised by the Sri Lankan Tourism Development Authority to mark World Tourism Day 2022.
We have to package Sri Lankan tourism into a set of niches. We cannot do one-night stand tourism anymore. The way we've done tourism here is everybody comes, spend one night in one place, then go to the next place. It's what I call one-night stand tourism, and then end up on a beach for 4 days at the end. That's not how you see a country. The president rightly pointed out that just to see the cultural triangle should take you a week. And you could say that of many, many other places. So we have to package Sri Lanka into niches. Cultural Sri Lanka, historical Sri Lanka, food lovers Sri Lanka, religious Sri Lanka, colonial Sri Lanka, hikers Sri Lanka. I have my friends at Sustainable Sri Lanka. They're mapping out what's called the Pico Trail, 80 kilometers of a continuous walk, similar to the pilgrimage walks in Europe. It's underway now. And what a treasure it'll be. But these are niches. My friend Paul Topping says we should invite tapophiles. You know what a tapophile is? People who love ancient cemeteries. And there are hundreds of thousands of people around the world who love to come and see ancient cemeteries. Sri Lanka has gorgeous, God bless their souls, ancient cemeteries. All over the place, south, north, Kandy, Colombo. Golfers Sri Lanka. How about a one-week package for all the golfers in Asia? To come and do Hambantota, to come and do Colombo, Victoria, Norelia, and the other 2 days in each location. You see, we have to put these niches, because for each of those niches there are enthusiasts who will pay. But if all we're offering is product, I have a beach, I have a hotel, so what? Everybody does.
Speaking further, Omar Khan highlighted how integrating rural communities into the tourism value chain with government support and follow-through will benefit these communities as well as Sri Lankan tourism as a whole.
And experiences, remember this. If you create an experience, say romantic Sri Lanka, the 5 best places to kiss your lover in paradise. All right, and you do romantic Sri Lanka, but then you have to be able to execute the experience. The carriage ride has to show up on time. The picnic basket has to be ready. The location has to be beautifully organized. So it's not enough to have the experience. That's where the gold standards come in. We have to execute them. Go ahead. So it takes a village, a community, and a country. So it takes a village. The village provides the people that underscore those services. We're trying to get the companies in Sri Lanka to go through provincial ambassadors to find how tourism can be improved in each province in a way that will enrich the local communities. And so it takes a village, but it takes a community, and they have to see the benefits. Then they won't be scared of people coming in because they know that foreign exchange is going to build their schools and give them hospitals and bring them medicine and keep them safe and secure. And it takes a country coming together to honor that effort, to get behind it, to support it, and to let it flourish.
Omar Khan also stressed that the government must first focus on and ensure the fine details before going into debt on gargantuan vanity projects. Sri Lankan governments have often done so, seeking loans to fund these projects from sources unconcerned with oversight, while claiming sources that do so infringe upon sovereignty and independence. The Sri Lankan public often does not take the time to discern the facts or ascertain the validity of these claims.
What we need is an appetite for quick wins, then big swings. So quick wins, anything we can do. We build a beautiful train to Jaffna. A friend of mine, who's in the room somewhere, took the train all the way Beautiful first-class cabin, but after the first hour, the bathrooms were such that you couldn't go near them for the other 5 hours. And yet, how much does it cost to have a person clean a toilet once an hour across 5 cabins on a train? Maybe 6,000 rupees. How much is one ticket? You see, what's the point of building the train and then we don't look after that basic? You could multiply. On that first class, you could sell the ticket, and then you could have our friend Darshan at Ministry of Crabs do a bento box. But at all levels, not just first class, there should be clean toilets. It's a dignified thing. It's not just for money. And that's all tourism. Those are what I mean by quick wins. And then you can take the big swings, like Japan did, like Singapore did. But you know, the big things are sometimes made up of little things. Minister Lee Kuan Yew in his time used to require a report on the state of hygiene of the bathrooms in Changi Airport every week, delivered to his desk. Imagine, head of state. And he looked at them. They knew he looked at them. And because he looked at them, everyone else looked at them. And therefore they were clean. And I would urge our leaders here, don't just look for big developments and the next skyscraper. Can we get the bathrooms clean? Can we get the people clean? Can we make sure that they can communicate?
Stay tuned with more stories after this short commercial break.
Low latency, data bow one, data bow one.
A non-stop journey with Data Bow One from SLT Mobitel Home Broadband.
Welcome back. You're watching State of Business. Now, Human Resources Minister of Malaysia, Saravanan Murugan, Malaysian Labour Affairs Director General, and a team of other delegates will arrive in the island to sign an MOU to provide 10,000 jobs in Malaysia. They will discuss with Sri Lankan counterparts all related matters and conditions regarding the MOU, including areas of employment, salaries, and terms of employment. Dato Tangyang Thai, the Malaysian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, informed Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanayakkara on the decision taken by the Malaysian government to provide 10,000 job opportunities to Sri Lankans following a request by the minister. The two will discuss all matters related to the MOU, according to the Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanayakkara. The minister further said that earlier such opportunities were given to countries like India and Bangladesh. Thus, on the 23rd of June, he requested that Sri Lankans be allowed the opportunity to work in Malaysia as well. The minister conveys his gratitude to the Malaysian High Commissioner for the prompt and positive response. The Malaysian High Commissioner recently informed Minister Nanayakkara officially of his government's decision and about the Malaysian delegation's visit to Sri Lanka in October. This will be the first time Sri Lanka signs a bilateral MOU with Malaysia on employment. When Minister Manusha Nanayakkara was the Deputy Minister for Foreign Employment in 2018, the two countries signed an MOU for Sri Lankans to obtain job-related training in Malaysia. This is a milestone in diplomatic relations between the two countries, as earlier such opportunities were only open for South Asian countries like India and Bangladesh. As the Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment, Minister Nanayakkara thanks the Malaysian government for their decision. This comes at a time when Sri Lanka is going through an economic crisis. Therefore, the minister believes that the whole country should be grateful for the decision taken by Malaysia to help Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, the government recently launched Manusavi, a pension scheme for migrant workers. Migrant workers can join its pension scheme when leaving for employment abroad. Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanayakkara holds that the Social Security Contributory Pension Scheme was an appreciation of the contribution migrant workers make to boost foreign reserves and socio-economic development. He maintains that the scheme launched at the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment fulfills a long-felt need of migrant workers. The minister highlighted the fact that migrant workers have made enormous sacrifices on behalf of the country and that the introduction of this scheme is a show of the government's appreciation and gratitude. However, some may argue that this is simply a measure by a government starved of foreign exchange meant to entice more migrant workers to remit large amounts through official channels or as a means to monitor and enforce regulatory measures. The pension scheme at the start allows for a minimum of 20,000 rupees to be entitled for a migrant worker if, according to one's discretion, a monthly amount of $11 is directed to this for 4 years. Migrant workers have the opportunity to choose a plan that matches their needs. The Ministry of Social Security and Social Security Board were associated with the launch of the pension scheme.
ක්‍රමවේදය ගැන පැහැදිලි කරා. ලංකාවේ ඉන්න අයට දැනට ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්න යන්න හදනකොටම තමයි මේක දාගෙන යන්න ඕනි. විශ්‍රාම වැටුප හදාගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් තමන්ගේ කැමැත්ත අනුව. තමන්ගේ කැමැත්ත අනුව ඩොලර් 11ක් මාසෙට දැම්මොත් ලංකාවේ සල්ලි වලින් 20000ක මාසික එකක් 55 60 හම්බ වුණාම ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන් අවුරුදු 4ක් දැම්මොත්. මේක තමන්ට ගැළපෙන ක්‍රමයක් තමන්ට තෝරා ගන්න පුළුවන්. තමන්ගේ මට්ටම අනුව, තමන්ගේ සැලරි එක අනුව, තමන්ගේ ආදායම අනුව, තමන්ගේ අනාගත විශ්‍රාම දිවිය සැලසුම් කරගන්න පුළුවන්කම ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. රට වෙනුවෙන් කැප වෙන ඔබ සියලු දෙනාම ආරක්ෂා කරන්න අපි මේ ගත්තු උත්සාහය කැපවීම තමුන්නාන්සලාගේ ඒ කරපු කැපවීමට අපේ යුතුයකම මනුස්සකම පෙන්වීමක් හැටියට මේ සිද්ධ කරන කාර්යයට දායකත්ව දීපු හැම දිනාටම අපි ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම ඉදිරියටත් මීට වඩා එහාට ගිහිල්ලා තවත් මේකෙන් ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රතිලාභ තියෙනවනේ, ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන් මේක වැඩි දියුණු කරන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රම තියෙනවනේ, ඒ සියල්ල පිළිබඳව ඉදිරියට කරගෙන යන්න මේ සමාජ ආරක්ෂණ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවට සියලු දෙනාට අපිත් එක්ක අත්වැල් බැඳගෙන මේ කටයුත්ත කරමු. අපිට ඕන වෙන්නේ මේ රටේ මිනිස්සු හොඳ සමාජ ආරක්ෂණ වැඩපිළිවෙලක් එක්ක හදන්න. සෝෂල් සේෆ්ටි නෙට් එකක් අපිට තියෙන්න ඕනේ අපි හැම මිනිස්සුම ආරක්ෂා කරන්න. ඒක නැති රටක් විදියට අපි බොහොම පීඩනයට පත්වෙච්ච මිනිසුන් ඉන්න රටක්. මිනිසුන් වැටෙනකොට අල්ලගන්න දැලක් ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න, වැටෙන වෙලාවට රැකගන්න දැලක් හදා ගැනීම වෙනුවෙන් අපි කම්කරු අමාත්‍යාංශයේ විදියට කම්කරුවා රැක ගැනීම වෙනුවෙන් මේ වෙනකොට වැඩපිළිවෙලක් සූදානම් කරගෙන යනවා.
Now, 8 state-of-the-art mobile chronic kidney disease screening labs worth 660 million rupees donated by China were commissioned on Monday. The mobile labs will be deployed in the Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Vavuniya, Trincomalee, Ampara, Kurunegala, Matale and Badulla districts. The Chinese embassy in Colombo notes that Sri Lankan people, especially in rural areas, are suffering in relation to CKD, known as the silent killer, as patients live with the disease for years before showing symptoms. Early screening and detection will spare the patients with limited healthcare access from pain. It is said that the 8 screening vehicles is part of the China-Sri Lanka joint effort to change the CKD status quo in Sri Lanka, following the China-Sri Lankan Friendship and National Nephrology Hospital in Polonnaruwa for treatment and the Joint Research and Demonstration Center for Water Technology in Kandy to find the cause. Personnel training and equipment examining have been an important part of the donation before the 8 mobile labs enter into service. Each CKD screening vehicle is fully equipped with the state-of-the-art devices including refrigerators, biochemistry analyzer, electrolyte analyzer, microscope, hematology analyzer, urine analyzer, water purification system, ultrasound diagnostic scanning system and centrifuge. Addressing those gathered at the commissioning of the mobile chronic kidney disease screening labs, the Minister of Health, Kehlia Ramukala, thanked the Chinese government and the Chinese ambassador to Sri Lanka.
All what I have to do is to thank you, not just once, many occasions, because I think that Sri Lanka is going through the worst ever economic crisis or the downturn in the history of Sri Lanka. And this is the time we see, in fact, friends indeed, that friends in need, right? So basically you have been a friend in need, and you have been always, and your people, your government have been always concerned about the activities of Sri Lanka, and you have never hesitated to assist us whenever it is necessary. And I don't think there is more opportune time than this to have these donations. Just across the giant that I see, And we are very proud of you because I think this is the biggest ever grant of the Chinese grant. I think next to the BMICH years ago. And we have the privilege of having a state-of-the-art, and I'm sure our professionals will love it because I don't think the Sri Lankan government could have afforded it at this time or even in the future.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back with stock updates.
Take it everywhere with SLT Go. Data Bowl 1, Data Bowl 1.
A non-stop journey with Data Bowl 1 from SLT Mobitel Home Broadband.
Welcome back, you're watching State of Business and now stock updates. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today. The All-Share Price Index gained 97.25 points to close at 9,958.87 and the S&P SL 20 gained 19.97 points to close at 3,184.48. The turnover was 3.1 million rupees and over 181 million shares were traded. Coming up next are Forex rates. Well, with that, we wrap up today's edition of State of Business. See you tomorrow with State of Business at 7:45 p.m. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.